There are things that are disliked in fasting, and we mentioned some of those. For example, exaggerating in rinsing your mouth and nose, as per the hadith of Laqit ibn Sabura, which we mentioned in a previous class. Why? Because when you exaggerate rinsing your mouth or nose, there is the possibility of getting some of the water into your stomach, which would impact negatively your fasting. Number two, kissing and being intimate and fondling your wife or with your spouse, because this may lead to being uncontrolling of yourself and having intercourse. But if you are safe from that, then there's no problem, inshallah. Number three, tasting the food. Whoa, I'm fasting. What do you mean by tasting the food? No, tasting the food is permissible even when you're fasting, because you're not eating. You're just simply putting the tip of your tongue and seeing if there's too much salt or not. By just tasting it, then there's no problem in that, as long as nothing reaches your throat. Number four, wasting the time by playing and by idle pursuits of doing nothing. So lots of the Muslims during the month of Ramadan, daytime of Ramadan, either watch soap operas or play games, and they waste their day trying to forget that they're fasting, instead of utilizing it to worship Allah, to read the Quran, and to do things that would benefit them. And also, one of the things that many Muslims don't know of, but they don't practice, that they fast uninterruptedly for 2 days or more. People say, hey, who in his right mind would do this? We just anticipate and wait for the sun to set so that we can eat whatever we can and drink whatever we can. Well, in the beginning, the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, used to do this. And this is something that's mind-blowing, to find people fasting for 2 or more days uninterruptedly. But this is what they used to do. And what used to enforce this, that they used to see the Prophet ﷺ doing this. So the Prophet forbade them from connecting a day to the other during the month of Ramadan or elsewhere. So they complained and said, well, you, O Prophet of Allah, you do this. So if you do this, well, we should be doing it. So the Prophet said, alayhi salatu wasalam, I am not like you. I stay with Allah Azza wa Jal, and Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who's feeding me and giving me drink. Meaning Allah Azza wa Jal is giving me the power not to need food and water like you guys. And when they insisted, so the Prophet reprimanded them by connecting a day with another day, and on the third day they were totally drained of power, and it was going to be really bad for them. But for their luck, they saw the new moon, so it was a celebration for them for Eid. And the Prophet said, if the new moon did not appear, I would have made it more continuous for you. It is highly recommended for a Muslim to observe what he says and what he does in Ramadan. So part of the haram things and the things that are disliked is to cuss, to swear, to fight, to involve in things that would anger Allah Azza wa Jal while fasting. And if someone were to fight with you or try to provoke you to fight with them, just say to them, I am fasting. The Prophet says, alayhi salam, when one of you is fasting, he should avoid lewdness and quarreling. If somebody fights or quarrels with him, he should say, I am fasting. هذا والله أعلم ونسبة العلم إليه أسلم.